And hi, this is Ken Kraetzer for CaMMVetsMedia. We cover cadets, midshipmen, the military veterans, and Iona University basketball. And we had a chance to talk to an Iona legend, ESPN broadcaster, a member of the Iona University Athletic Hall of Fame, and that is Kevin Hamilton. Kevin, how are you today?
Hello, Ken. Great to be with you. How you doing?
Good, good, and happy New Year to you and your family.
You also. Thank you.
Appreciate that. Well, um, we got Iona's had an up and down non-conference schedule. They played a few MAC conference games. Lost last night to St. Peter's. Going to play
Yep.
Niagara at home on Sunday at 1 o'clock, and they're also that day going to recognize your coach, the Naismith Hall of Famer, now Jim Valvano, who was put Iona basketball on the map back in the late 1970s and 1980s. Kevin, let's start a little bit with Jim Valvano. What made him a special coach when he was at Iona back in the late 70s?
I would say the his ability to have a staff that could recruit. If you think about what he recruited his first year, second year, third year at Iona, it was national level type players. Um, Many of us could have went to, a lot bigger programs, a lot bigger schools, and he was very consistent in his approach. He talked quite a bit about the ability to, be have more of an impact in our career than going to a North Carolina and being a small fish in a little pond. Um, so his ability to recruit early and often and get the types of players that could play anywhere in the country was something that really stood out for me.
Very good.
Secondly,
Go ahead.
yeah, I'm sorry. Secondly, you know, um, although we'll take a little bit of credit for helping him become the coach he became, he was a smart guy. Really understood how to promote the program and allowed us to play. He really gave us the ability to go out there and do what we did best. I mean, think about this. I was shooting 30-foot jump shots before there was a 3-point line. What coach would allow you to do that? Um, we were such a methodical team and played the way he wanted us to play, which was free. It was just a joy to play for the guy.
Well, one of the things that John Feinstein wrote about Jim Valvano was that he liked to speak and have a microphone in his hand, and talked about the basketball lunches they used to have in New York City, and that Lou Carnesecca would say a few words and just hand him the microphone to Jim Valvano, and Lou could just sit back and relax for the rest of the luncheon. Um, what was it? Why was he such a good natural speaker? It certainly served him well through his career. What was special about how he could command an audience?
Well, he had a lot of practice on the recruiting trail. It took somebody to be able to do what he did to again, get the types of players that he got. And then also, I'll tell you, you know, well, I heard these speeches every day, multiple times a day, and quite a bit of what he talked about was really from the heart, and it was something that you know you don't have to prepare for when you can just speak direct from the heart and lay it all out. So Coach Valvano was brilliant when it came to that. But the last thing I will say about his ability, his speaking ability, um, he certainly enjoyed the crowd. And if you go back and watch some of his speeches beyond just the ESPY speech, you'll see that man, he could really engage people at a level that a lot of coaches couldn't. Um, so he was one of the best to ever do it.
And of course, the 1979-80 season, your team went 29-5, went to the second round of the NCAA tournament, and but the day or the night everyone remembers was at Madison Square Garden. I was there with my friend Scott McLeod. I always want to remember. Took
Hmm.
the train down, as so many Iona fans did, and you played Louisville, Denny Crum's team, and you pulled off a 77-60 win when Louisville, I believe, was #1 in the country. Tell us about that night.
Well, that night was great, but it was weeks before that night that really determined how well we were going to do. If you remember, we were on an 18-game win streak,
Mhm.
and our team was very, very confident. We had played the very best there was to play in college basketball. I mean, we played Kentucky, Texas A&M, Wichita State, Georgetown, um, Pittsburgh, on and on. A lot of high-level programs that all were, some of the best in the country at that time. But we were not worried about our ability to play against anyone. We knew we had the pieces that would give anyone trouble. Glenn and myself felt like we were the best guards in the country, not because we were egomaniacs, but because when we played against the best guards in the country, we did very well. And certainly, when you have the big fella in the middle, you have one of the best at that position in the entire college basketball scene. So, and then guys that were role players in what they did: Alex Middleton, power forward; Mike Palmer, great shooter; guys coming off the bench, a bunch of freshmen; Kevin Vesey, which was one of the premier shot blockers in all of college basketball. Most people didn't know, but he's a 7-foot guy that had a 40-inch vertical. So when we showed up that night to play Louisville, there was no question in our mind that they were in trouble. Now, there were 18,900 people that probably felt differently, because a week earlier they beat St. John's, to beat the doors off St. John's. But we knew we were going to compete. And then once we got a little taste of putting them in a hole early, we knew they were in trouble. So it was just a great opportunity for Iona basketball to take center stage nationally in all of the country.
Very good, and of course, Coach Valvano left the next year, went to North Carolina State, where in 1983 he led the team to the 1983 national championship, a scene and forever fixed in college basketball fans' minds after the game. He's running around the court looking for someone to hug. And what a scene and accomplishment. And then possibly his greatest legacy in cancer research. As John Feinstein wrote, Jim was kind of looking for another avenue, possibly in entertainment, doing TV talk shows. But then a mission found him when he came down with cancer, and a speech given in March 4th, 1993 will be forever remembered, and has inspired so many to donate to cancer research um, with the Jimmy V and the V Foundation, which I'm glad to work on with my friend Larry Woodard up here in Westchester to various events. You got to come out to our outing next year, Kevin, and join us. But what was your thought about his legacy, his national championship, and then also, his work in his final moments on leading and inspire people to find cures for cancer?
Well, I was fortunate to have a relationship with Coach after my college career. We talked and we visited each other once in a while. Whenever he was in town, I'd visit. Um, Actually, helped him recruit a couple of kids from New York for North Carolina State. So, that was fun to do. But his legacy is exactly what he said it would be. It lives on. The soul of the guy who, after coaching was over and broadcasting was over, realized that the biggest game he was going to coach was one that he wasn't going to be here to be on the sidelines for. But he is just an inspiration for all of us to know that what he had planned to do, and is currently doing with the V Foundation is far more important than wins and losses, and certainly um, gives many, many people hope that they would not normally have if they didn't have the ability to be touched by such a wonderful guy.
Well, I'm honored to have gone to a couple of his games. I remember going to one game at the Heinz Center, and I think it was against St. Lawrence, my early that year, and it might have been the year before in 78, 79. And then, of course, was at the Louisville game at Madison Square Garden. Such a great memory, and really has inspired Iona fans ever since. I think if you were at that game, you became an Iona fan forever. And we see so many loyal Iona fans out at the Heinz Center at the games year in and year out, and he'll have a big crowd on Sunday. Kevin,
Yeah.
just a few thoughts on this year's team. They had a nice win up at Harvard, 80-69 on December 30th, and then opening up the 2024 campaign, they lost at St. Peter's 69-57, a game they were down 22 early, but then came back and made it close at the end. What's your thought? How's this team progressing?
So first, I'll start by saying Tobin Anderson is a good coach, and any Iona fans out there that have doubts or, is concerned, don't be. It's just a matter of time before they turn the corner. They're going through a three-phase process that is very popular in business. When you're forming, you're norming, and then you're eventually storming. So right now they're in the norming stage.
I gotta get that down again. I'm gonna use it in my next business talk. Tell us that one again.
Yeah, so in business, you talk about when you're building your team, you form your team at first, which is you bring in the right people, the right players, the right coaches. You go through a norming stage where you're trying to find out what your identity is going to be. Number one, as a leader for that organization, and then certainly as a team. And they're in the norming stage right now. They're trying to figure out what their identity is going to be. Coaching is one thing, but the players have a lot to do with that as well. And then when you figure out and you normalize exactly what it is you're going to do, you certainly begin to create a storm, which is what I believe Iona will do by the end of the year. And that storm is going to be them winning games and going into the conference playoffs very, very energized and confident that they can do it. So you heard it first from Kevin Hamilton. Those are the three stages I believe Iona is going through. But Coach Anderson knows what he's doing, and he does a great job. And he's just going to, have to continue doing what he's doing on a daily basis, like he said in the last press conference. And at some point, when they turn the corner, I wouldn't want to be one of the teams that have to play him when that all happens.
Well, everyone will be pointing towards the MAC tournament back in Atlantic City this year, and the chance for Iona to show how it has progressed over the season. Obviously, it's a new team. One holdover in Osborne Shema, who's been playing well, had a good game, 15 points last night against St. Peter's, and also the freshman guard Gene. Help me with his last name.
Aragoran.
Aragoran. I'm sorry,
Mm-hmm.
but he's been looking very good. He had 12 points against St. Peter's and becoming more of a factor. And then of course the transfer from Harvard, the forward has been playing very well, leading the team in scoring, and so there's some potential. What does this team got to do to keep progressing and growing as the season gets in? It goes into the heart of the conference schedule.
I think there's one word that sums up what it is that they're going to have to do, and that's be consistent. Um, when they win games, that means they've shot the ball well, they've played with the energy they need to play with, and they defended. When they lose games, they're not shooting the ball well. The energy level goes down. It's tough to come back from a 16-point lead in halftime, 20-point lead at half. That's not easy to do no matter who you're playing against. And then, we talk a lot about the freshmen that are doing very well. Aaron Gorin, Quigley's doing well, and also the big fella in the middle is doing well. also. But it's the senior leaders that really are going to be the core of what helps them get to that storming stage we talked about. So Weza needs to shoot the ball much better. Trey needs to play much more consistently because they're both very capable. Um, and then Shema is doing what he does, but he's going to also have to become that defender in the middle of the paint that he was last year, and put a little bit more on his shoulders. And I think they're all capable of doing that. So, hey, they're going through it right now, but I'm confident with the leadership of coach and with them staying together as a group. They'll be able to work their way through it.
Okay. Who do you see as the teams to beat in the MAC conference so far this year?
Hey, the MAC conference is really strange. You have Marist at the top right now. You have St. Peter's, but I think at the end of the day, Ryder, Quinnipiac, and I don't want to insult anybody else, but at this point, any team can work their way through if they can be that team that's playing their best basketball when it comes conference tournament time.
Certainly, John Dunn has gotten the Marist program going as we knew he would. It took him a few years, but now they are a very solid team, reminiscent of his some of the very strong teams that he had at St. Peter's. A couple of ones which went to the NCAA tournament. So, Kevin, will we see you out there tomorrow at the Heinz Center for the Niagara game?
Well, I'll be there. I'll be broadcasting the game on
Good.
ESPN, and I certainly look forward to halftime when they raise the banner for Coach Valvano. Just a heads up for those Iona fans out there. Many of my former teammates will be coming back to support the ceremony. So I very, very much look forward to spending time with them and spending time with the great Iona fans that supported us throughout the tenure of Coach Valvano.
Yeah, it's gonna be reminiscent of the last gathering of your team for the anniversary of the win over Louisville. That was before COVID in 2020. A
Mm.
wonderful gathering of your team from that amazing day, and so we'll look forward to seeing everybody out again tomorrow on Sunday and January 7th, as Iona will play Niagara. It's 1 o'clock start, and the ceremony uh, recognizing legendary Iona coach Jim Valvano will be at halftime, so you don't want to miss that. Bring your camera. It's a great day to take pictures of this gathering, and it'll be a really special day at Iona. Kevin Hamilton, thank you so much. Thank you for your insight. You're reminiscing about Coach Valvano and your thoughts about this year's Iona Yale basketball team.
Hey, thank you, and whoever's watching this who's an Iona fan, stick with this team. They'll be fine.
Okay. Well, thank you, Kevin, and we'll see you at Iona on Sunday. And I just would like to recognize our sponsors, the New York Yankees, the 27-time world champions. We're just out at the Pinstripe Bowl, which they sponsor and host, and it was a great day. And they're getting set for the start of their season, counting down days to pitchers and catchers, and an opening day in April. And also the Special Operations Warrior Foundation, one of our great friends. They provide scholarship, mentoring, and support to families of fallen special operations community members, and also families of Medal of Honor recipients. Do a great job. They have 200 students that they are supporting right now in college, and over 1,000 that they plan to take care of as they advance in their education. You're going to see their information, Special Operations Warrior Foundation, based down in Tampa. So thank you all. Thanks, Kevin Hamilton. It's Ken Kraetzer for CaMMVetsMedia. We cover cadets, midshipmen, the military veterans, and Iona University basketball. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again very soon.